Hello and welcome. My name is Dr. Roth, and this is Syphon Filter, the Omega strain for the PlayStation 2. In our last episode, we finished up Carthage. And in the off time, I went ahead and I got par in all of the at least the first three missions, as well as getting what's his name's recorder. So we have some reading to do. When I was editing the last episode, I've come to the conclusion that the missions aren't very long when it's said and done. It is a lot of reading. It isn't like the traditional other Syphon filters. So that being said, I don't blame anybody if they skip this one as far as video, because I mean, I think I may just keep each video to one mission and its related documents. So I don't know. Anyhow, let's us go to here, because we do have a Zeus file that we do have to read here. Let's see. So this one's new. Casebook entry 002. More outbreaks in Uganda and Italy. The one in Uganda seems more serious, so Leon and I will investigate. Stone will go to Italy. Hopefully he will stay out of trouble. Amani's report from Michigan seems encouraging. I don't know for sure, but my gut feeling is the outbreak there is a result of an arms deal gone bad. The ALA have never been sophisticated enough to construct a biological weapon. No, they do not have near anything to do with a conspiracy, I'm sure of it. But they offer a clue. Someone is altering the virus, turning it into a weapon which can be sold to terrorists who can't afford nuclear weapons. Lawrence will have answers when we find him, if we find him alive. Terrorists have sold the virus. Who sold it to them? Then we have the medium, and then Majori's audio recorder.
It will go easier on you if you fully cooperate.
I didn't mean for this to happen. The container, it leaked. It must have, though we never saw any sign. People just started dying. We didn't mean for it to happen.
Yes, as you keep insisting. Where is the container now? Where did you get it? Where did it come from?
Millions of people will die. It's not my fault. I tried to stop him. I tried to tell him.
Broussard, listen to me carefully. I do not have time for this. I want you to answer my questions, and I want you to...
Emmène-le à l'entrepôt et garde le prisonnier. Et puisqu'il voulait à tout prix voir le conteneur, fais-lui voir. Broussard, get back on the street and get those authorities off my back until I am ready.
Millions of people are going to die. We are all going to die.
All right. We got one here. Let's see here. Mission data. To Dr. Stephen Gilbert. Sir, an anonymous person saved me. I was being held hostage inside a theater by members of ALA. I was absolutely certain that they were going to kill me. Some foreign agent or officer single-handedly took out the guards in the lobby and the ones guarding me. I wouldn't be alive without that person's help. Wherever they came from, I owe them a debt of thanks. Sincerely, John Rubens, MD, Official Carthage Health Authority. So, yeah, that was in the theater. Apparently one of the doors you can kick open, and I could have swore I didn't see that when we went through it. But yeah, there's a CHA guy in there, and that's where the recorder was at. So regarding the Rising Hand attack on CHA officers, response was made to something to the Carthage Mall located in downtown area. When units arrived, they found Carthage Health Authority officers under attack from an unidentified or undetermined amount of the ALA. Something members directed toward, yada yada yada. So let's see your agency files. This is the rest of Lawrence's original report. He had some of the papers with him, Teresa. From Elsa Weisinger, I.P.C.A. Biology Division. Gabe. Mujari had collected several specimens taken directly from Broussard's CHA labs. These will be crucial in understanding the new virus and curing the disease. Also Weisinger. Alright, political data. Carthage MI declared disaster area. Carthage MI, Carthage, Michigan. The disease that has affected Pescara, Italy, Masaka, Uganda, is apparently same as that in Carthage, Michigan. The new disease may, in fact, be related to other various other various outbreaks, including a number of outbreaks of a similar virus in 2 other countries of Soviet Romania, Turkey, and Greece. The viral strains are something Ebola HF, and they seem to be like viruses like Bilvoride. Treatment none as yet. Whatever. Office of the Governor of Michigan to the President of the United States. It is with great urgency that I address you now. The country has become aware of the malady which our city of Carthage has been stricken. We find ourselves unable to effectively deal with the monumental task of providing for the health needs of the entire city stricken with an unknown illness. The state of Michigan calls for help from the federal government in dealing with the crisis. We ask for any and all forms of aid, medical personnel, equipment, supplies, and research facilities to help in our continued effort to end this emergency. All right, and this is the mission unlocked for getting part-time, so we're going to do this one first. All right, news reports. International Inquisitor. Exclusive and terrifying expose revealed by a group of scientists. Mysterious deaths in Pescara linked to disease-carrying aliens. Nice. Exclusive. Travelers are actually space aids. Exiles. 4 murdered in Rome suburb. Police wary after mob massacre. Escalating tensions blamed. Antonio Cordere. 4 residents of a Roman suburb known as the Garbetella area were murdered during the course of a mob riot yesterday. The names of the deceased will be held until the next of kin can be notified. Police are referring to the incident as a mob massacre due to the sheer number of whatever. The incident is just one in a series of recent events that point to mounting tensions and anxiety attributed in part to the mysterious malady or invisible something. Frustration is at what they perceive as a lack of commitment behind the investigation. I can't read the rest. The mission data. The missed shipment was not due to clerical error. Someone in Belarus sold the cattle to a low-ranking member of the Cosa Nostra. The recipient was listed as Juan Ortiz. The mailer signature belongs to Mikhail Volkovsky. All right. To Marcus Baldavi, $2,500. Member accountants. This is these are the random locations for shipments. Well, that's a random if you know it. On these random shipments, cross out or remove the from address and information. Let's see your agency files. Discrete personnel elimination order. We're taking out Dmitry Alexopoulos. So I, Gary, someone putting in a request for a discrete personnel elimination order. In accordance with the Homeland Security Act, owning to the good, the administrative duty of the President of the United States granted by provision on the people shall be known that that day the international... Interesting. Okay. Well, basically Stone is putting in a request to take this guy out. Okay, here it is, actually. In accordance with the Homeland Security Act, owing to the general good and with the administrative due to the President of the United States granted by Pro 47C of the people shall be known and accepted on this day, the International Presidential Consulting Agency orders to be carried out with all deliberate speed upon the following personnel with all deliberate speed. The discrete personnel elimination order for Alexis Dmitry Volgat. Gary Stillman, Intelligence Op Commander. Alexopoulos is planning some big hit that could prove disastrous. Let's not give him the chance to try again. Classified. Let's see here. Policies. A discrete personnel elimination order provides a field agent or officer with the necessary authorization for the use of lethal force in the elimination of designated targets. Performing an assassination without prior authorization is against I.P.C.A. policy. Procedures. Once determination has been made as a designated target, the field agent obtains a DPE from I.P.C.A. command. Each DPE must contain the date and the order the order was assigned, the name of the target, and at least 3 means of verifying the target's identity to ensure against accidental collateral damage. Authorization: all DPE orders must be signed minimum by 2 I.P.C.A. officers, operations level rank or higher, Deputy Chief of Operations, or Commander-in-Chief. That one's, so this is political data. Let's see here. Regarding mob rivalries in Italy, 1971 to 74, the Costa Pozzetta briefly makes peace with the Bonanno crime family to battle the rival mob Galileo family. 75 to 89, Genovese family begins long and bloody feud with the Costa Potenzas over control of cocaine distribution. And then 99 to present, Costa Potenza involved in frequent skirmishes with Salerno and Bonanno families other over vice interests in South Italy, resulting in the death of Alberto Alexopoulos, brother of Dimitri. Tensions suggest possibility of mob war occurring soon between the three families. Sincerely, James Carmichael, Director of CIA. So this is 2J Stone, I believe. The preliminary Ebola investigation. Deaths in Pescara, Italy have been attributed to various causes: Ebola, botulism, plague, West Nile. Symptoms are not unlike those of the Syphon Filter virus. Agent Stoneman is assigned to investigate the nature and origin of the outbreaks. Conspiracy files, all locked. Well then, shall we go in?
Now, I'm pretty impressed with the way you handled that Dobransky business. Here's a man was corrupt to his bones, deserved what he got. I've worked with you long enough now to give you some personal advice. But first, let me tell you a little about myself you may not know. You know that I just returned from a mission to Italy. You also know that I'm retired military, fought in every war from Nam to the Gulf. What you don't know is that I'm retired CIA, ex-spook, trained hitman. But I'm getting ahead of myself.
Remember, Stone, Dimitri will leave the church around 3 p.m. He'll have a limo waiting, so you have maybe 30 seconds to carry out your DPE order.
Don't you worry, sweetheart. I was doing this while you were still in diapers. And that's a whole lot of words when you could have just as easily said, whack 'em. And if Hunter hadn't gotten lost, I'd have had a little more time to set this up.
We're a government agency, Stone. We don't use words like whack. And complain to Crush about your problems, not me. Sorry about that, boss.
Just kidding, little gal. I got plenty of time left. Stone out.
All right. Pescara, Italy, St. Satio Square, mission briefing filed by Gary Stoneman, IOC2. Dimitri Alexopoulos was not only the head of the Cosa Nostra, the most powerful crime family in Italy, he was also harder to get at than a thirsty tick on a long-haired mule. He left his fortified island maybe once a year, and I was lucky enough to be there when it happened. I don't remember why he was in there. A wedding, a baptism, didn't matter. At 3 p.m., it was going to be his funeral. My plan was simple: sneak into town without being seen, plan a diversionary bomb, get into position, and make the hit. I might have to break a few necks along the way, because his bodyguards were everywhere. And I like to challenge myself. I carried only one bullet from my sniper rifle. I couldn't make a hit with one, I should get a new line of work. Or a new rifle. Mine was old and beat, but there was no way I was replacing her. Been through a lot, too much together. So this is one of those missions, I guess the special missions, you're stuck with playing whatever character they give you and whatever loadout they provide you. So we're going to be playing as Stoneman here, apparently with one gun. So that's it.
During my investigation in Pescara, I learned the Cosa Nostra was involved. Big crime family in the Umbria region. Gabe decided we couldn't afford to let them think it was okay to use bioweapons for family business. Their leader, Dimitri Alexopoulos, had to go. And while you may think Gabe hired me for my good looks, he really hired me for my skill with a scope. I had C4 with me. I knew that after I made the hit, I would need a diversion to help me escape. My plan was to plant an explosive down the street in the opposite direction of my escape route and set it off after Dimitri went down. Here's another tip. I don't use knives. Too messy. I like to keep my clothes clean. And killing a man with a knife can be a noisy business. Not good when you're sneaking around with a sniper rifle. Instead, I use a neat trick I call the neck cracker. Step up behind a man real close, grab his chin with your right hand, and twist like you're trying to catch a wet football. They go down nice and quiet.
And now that that's done, so we could do the Zelda roll, and they can't detect us apparently. But we are just going to clear the street here. We got 3 minutes, and we can just murder everybody. I've been practicing a little bit to kind of get the layout of the map, because there's no checkpoints. So it's kind of like a one shot. You got one shot, mess it up. But I needed to know where to go, so. Here. Go.
I knew that Dimitri would be coming out of the front doors of the church. There was only one logical place for me to be to take the shot, the tower across the street. I knew I had to make my way there and set up at least 5 minutes before 3 o'clock. I would use the tolling of the bell to mask the sound of the rifle.
Here we got
That'd
plenty
give
of
me a
time
few
here.
minutes before they figured out which direction the shot came from.
Take that guy out. Oh, it also works. Fucking stun baton instead of cracking people's necks. It apparently can't do it while they're freaking walking. Fucky bitch.
Perché nessuno mi ha avvertito? Accompagnami alla mia vita. Partiamo.
After I took the shot and saw Dimitri drop, I triggered the explosives.
All right, let's read our radio log here.
During my investigation in Pescara, I learned the Cosa Nostra was involved. Big crime family in the Umbria region. Gabe decided we couldn't afford to let them think it was okay to use bioweapons for family business. Their leader, Dmitri Alexopoulos, had to go. And while you may think Gabe hired me for my good looks, he really hired me for my skill with a scope. I had C4 with me. I knew that after I made the hit, I would need a diversion to help me escape. As a kid, I was pretty good with a rifle. In boot, earned every medal they had for sharpshooting. I went to NAM as a GI, but it wasn't long before a couple of spooks approached me. I was reassigned to Special Forces and got special training. Within a month, I was working behind enemy lines, taking out VC generals, politicians, leaders. From that war on, all my battles were private ones. Me and a single target. Dmitri was a recluse. He came out into public maybe once a year. It was sheer luck that he was going to this ceremony, whatever it was. I knew he was going to be antsy. He had patrols everywhere, the streets, the roofs, even in the sewers. I was going to have to watch my step. If his bodyguards found out I was there, they'd pull Dmitri out faster than shit through a goose. I knew I had to take out as many bodyguards as I could. I didn't want to be fighting them as I was trying to escape. I was patient, waited for my opportunities, then broke their necks and dumped their bodies where they couldn't be seen. If you're gonna stay in this business, you're gonna have to learn a few tricks. Here's my favorite. If you've been assigned to make a hit, take just one bullet for your sniper rifle. Just one. Has an uncanny way of making you focus. And if you miss, well, you won't get another shot anyway. Here's another thing. You find a rifle you like, a scope you can trust, you keep it. Don't let it out of your sight. Don't let anyone else touch it. Don't take it in to get it fixed or rebored. No, you fix it yourself. This old rifle of mine is held together with duct tape and spit. It's got scratches, scrapes, and dings, but it's the best damn rifle in the world. I knew that Dmitri would be coming out of the front doors of the church. There was only one logical place for me to be.
All right, gotcha.
Seconds before 3 o'clock, the bell was about to sound. I steeled myself and got ready, eyeing the door through my scope. The bell would ring 3 times. On the first, I would aim. The second, I would breathe. And on the third, squeeze the trigger.
All right, get the objective. We need. Okay, so we did dump the bodies, but, you know, whatever. Where am I going? Please?
Running for life provides an intense adrenaline rush. Really,
Do we get far? Yep.
there's nothing like it. Except the incredible feeling of satisfaction when you know you had completed a mission and done your job well.
You finished the mission in record time. Awesome work.
Nice.
Cobra managed to not get killed.
11 kills, baby.
So, that's my story. Do I think about all the hits I've made? The lost lives, that they had families, that they loved their dogs? Yeah, I think about it. You can't help it if you're human. In the middle of the night, you sit in the dark and their magnified faces stare back at you from the blackness. And the fact that their deaths have saved lives, maybe thousands of lives, don't make it easier. But that's okay. You ever start sleeping easy in this line of work, you stop being human, become something else. If it ever gets to that point, you keep a sharp eye. Maybe I'll have a DPE order, only made out in your name.
News files. Let's see, we got agency files. Let's go to the new ones. All right, the following DP list was completed between May 1966 and 1972. A whole bunch of people. So we have a bunch of names I'm not going to be able to say, but yeah, a lot of people. Teresa, keep this part of Stone's file confidential. Though I recruited him as our combat specialist, he was not actually an Army gunner in Vietnam, but worked for the CIA as a DPE specialist. His job was to work behind enemy lines to eliminate BC leaders, political enemies, and other undesirables. I'm glad he's on our side. Date redacted. I first met Stone in Grenada in 1983. I was a recruit fresh out of boot, anxious to serve my country, but like most Greens, had no clue how to stay alive. My platoon managed to get ourselves pinned down in an abandoned warehouse. We were running low on ammo, and it looked like my first patrol would be my last. When suddenly this immense man came crashing through the wall behind us, like the Kool-Aid man. Oh yeah, literally through the wall. It was Stone, who at the time was a sergeant in the Corps. I had no way of knowing that he was actually CIA and was interrupting a highly classified DPE mission to come save our asses. He and I have been friends ever since. Political data. Preliminary Ebola investigation, I.P.C.A and all stricken regions. Regions reporting sickness are all heavily populated by cattle ranches. Agent Zing researched corporate registry records in I.P.C.A but could not find out who actually owned and operated the affected cattle ranches. One in I.P.C.A is leased to an international corporation, Meta Global Funds Inc., registered headquarters in Zurich. Marcos, and that's who the check was made out to. The payout information contains a second reference to Meta Global Funds that I've seen. I've been searching for records on them ever since Leon found reference to them in Uganda, but I'll be damned if I can find anything. I'm going to hit up some friends at the EU to see what they can turn up. I graduated in 1990. This is Elsa's. In 1990, and I was hired full-time. I had risen to senior researcher and began directing parts of the project. I was losing myself. I had wanted to become a physician, a healer, but was becoming something else. What forces shape people, make them what they are? Why do people become criminals, for instance? Some are born into it and have no choice. Families of mafia, children of despots. Entire nations can be blinded by political fervor. Others, like myself, are changed slowly, mesmerized by someone they idolize. Lives are not changed overnight, but through a long process. Even the educated can be made to believe the world is flat, if they have the right teacher. Gabe, this is a transcript of Stone's interview with the clerk that saw Aramov. Sounds like he was persuasive. I edited sections that didn't deal with the interview, as well as the Stone's usual small talk. I asked about the garble section, and Stone said he was looking at some photos and didn't realize the microphone was still on. As it is, no important parts of the interview were lost. Teresa LePan, Deputy Chief of Operations, I.P.C.A. Bolded text represents a person speaking. Gray text represents a contacted party speaking. Quoted text is response to the person being interviewed. Italicized bracketed text represents action. Bracketed text is commented by the transcriber. Stone. So a woman was here 3 days ago asking questions. Clerk. Yes. Describe her again, for the record. Blonde hair, very thin, slight build, Russian accent. She spoke Italian and English very well. Door opens and shuts in the background. What did you tell her? Everything that I have told you. She also had a very persuasive handgun. Different model, but same idea. Fair enough. I have a few more questions. Syphon Filter, the I.P.C.A file from the desk of Gabe Logan. Casebook entry 004. Stone's report in Italy proved similar to Carthage, with one major difference. The outbreak was contained to a very small area. This means the virus was released inadvertently. Stone's evidence against Alexopoulos is convincing enough to warrant a DPE. Like Mason, Dimitri's peripheral, a sidetrack, the man we're looking for would never be involved in something so obvious as the syndicate. He's more He's more clever than that. Making progress in Uganda, recovered the evidence from rebel army that had raided the stricken ranches. They put up a good fight. Cattle is the link between the ranches and the village outbreaks. A freak migration of a bovine virus? Dr. E will have to tell us. Cattle virus Uganda Mara. The answer has to be here. There we have it. Alright. I think we can move on here. I think we'll have time to do the next one here. News reports. Government crackdown on the ALA. Quarantine area widens around Carthage. The Carthage Health Authority widened the quarantine area around downtown Carthage area today to include the outlying areas of Alpena, Saginaw Bay, and Midland. This includes regions surrounding the Huron watershed that were not named by the CHA previous to the last. 27 arrests made already this week. In a swift series of raids, Martinique police swept through dozens of locations around the country in search of the ALA cells. As many 27 members of the ALA are now believed to be in custody. While this is the largest such raid in recent history, it is believed that possibly as many as 100 first became prominent during the early 1900s, when they first made public their demands that the U.S. and other nations allow for the country of Martinique and other French-speaking countries to nationalize the corporate-owned assets within those countries. The Rising Hand is thought to be part of a much larger group with ties to an American group all over the world. Not known. Let's see here. Plague. In something. Mystery disease may be a new form of plague carried by the rats. Rats may be the blame for the invisible killer that has afflicted Pescara and surrounding areas. A new theory blames an old enemy, the Black Death or bubonic plague. The disease that wiped out 2/3 of the population in Italy and all of Europe over the course of 300 years. And then suspected Karl from China, Belarus, and Spain. Mob boss killed. The highly reclusive, seldom seen crime boss Dimitri Alexopoulos was found dead in front of the church of St. Seto. He had been shot to death. The body of the reported head of the coast of Potenza was found at 5 a.m. by sanitation workers. Recent events between crime families led to speculation that outbreak in Brazil, dying in droves. Monkeys along the Amazon are dying in the hundreds. The last monkey of the Shunta tribe that lived near the city of Santronium succumbs at last to a disease for which its captors have no name. All along the Amazon River, generations of these simple creatures are being wiped out, never to return. The situation has become so dire that something species flourishing only 10 years ago, in spite of the threat of Ebola and AIDS, could be on the verge of extinction within years if a cure is not found. Of more, something is a fact that often suspected diseases that monkey population something, indeed monkey to human transmission remains something. It could be a new epidemic for mankind, may already this makes one Ebola AIDS look tame. And it says the disease varies slightly between desertions unverified. Alright. Mission data. Our objectives agency has determined that the shipment has ended up in Pescara, Italy, was meant to go to the mill in Belarus. He is to take a team to the Krishrel mill and find out why it was a destination for the shipment. Agent Stone should find and interrogate Dobransky and or locate his papers. You sure you're up to this, old man? Dr. E says she's almost ready to prescribe a walker for you. Old man, is it? Let's see you drop and do 100 for first 100. Okay. Old man, is it? Let's see you drop and do 100 fist push-ups, Missy. Christopher's Mall. Here's what I managed to dig up on the mill. It was built during the 40s as part of the Stalinist grand plan to industrialize and compete with the West, but it fell victim to cost-cutting during Petroskovia. It was turned into a collective operation run by the locals. For the last 2 years, it was being leased by an unknown Russian company with no registration. Tekla Dobransky, foreman of the mill, professional history, 1989, hired by the steel mill, 1990, recruited in the CDP, which is the Chechen Democratic Partisans by Mikhail Politsky, 1981, meets with several top officials, affiliation, see amendum. International president, this is the I.P.C.A. According to our friends at the other agency, this is our man. He has been running the mill for 2 years. Presumably, Dobratsky works for whatever Russian company is running the mill. Office of the Chief of Police, Mr. Logan, I'd like to thank your team for the bravery and sacrifice you demonstrated by saving the lives of my officers under fire. Thank you so very much. Sincerely, James Trumbull, Chief of Police. From Teresa LePan, Deputy Chief of Operations, I.P.C.A. I was impressed by the way you worked together to save the lives of those men. You exposed yourself to great harm to save others. Excellent work. Bro, I did that alone. Agency Communications Command Center. The micro data recording device worked with the emergency illumination device to allow constant data transfer to the mission commander, who can see and hear everything the team experiences. Sector 2, the agency command vehicle. Whether a helicopter or van is linked via satellite to the operations chief, Berlin and agency command center. Frequency for security reasons. These receive a common operating frequency for communication. The day of the mission. A different frequency will be assigned for each day of the continuing mission, is my guess, is what it says. Let's see here. Map. This is just Carthage. Let's see here. I figured you might like some balloons to cheer you up. I told them what you have. They sold me this. That's funny. Or you can pull through this. Get better, or I'm going to put you on a report, Teresa. Lawrence Bujari's prognosis is not good. His condition is stable, but not improving. Gabe, my plan is to find DNA links between the old and new strains of the Syphon Filter virus. The samples are similar enough that there must be some connection. The street virus, so we're probably going to need to get some animal. Personal data assistant, something. Gabe, I had to call in a few favors with the spooks to get this set up. Let's hope they don't need us to return the favor. Our budget can't handle it. This is purely an investigation. Combat is not authorized, nor is our presence to be disclosed to local authorities. Extreme caution should be used at all times to prevent infection. CIA operatives will help with assertion via jet and helicopters. CIA is also providing water transport. Alright, political data. Report on mystery illness. The WHO has been tracing the progress of the unknown virus through 4 countries: Uganda, Carthage, Michigan, Italy, and now Brazil. We have been charting the advance of this disease for some time. As of today, I am sending 1 team apiece to each of these areas. I am something concerned with whether or not these incidents are related. If so, we will put all of our resources to combat. Potential update before it begins. To President H. Warrants, Mr. President, we respectfully request that you head a World Summit in New York City addressing the viral catastrophe that has affected Uganda, Carthage, Michigan, Italy, and Brazil. The United States must lead the fight in a concerted effort by the nations of the world to eradicate this mysterious threat to the people of every country. Sincerely, somebody. Mr. Gabe, I'm not sure what, I've never seen MSR before. Gabe Logan, I.P.C.A. It is the opinion of this committee that a complete quarantine of the virus-affected areas surrounding and including Carthage, Michigan, should go into immediate effect. The area of incidents spreads unchecked, with new cases reported daily. At the current rate, most of the eastern United States will be affected in 1 month. We recommend a complete level 6 quarantine encompassing the entire containment area as defined by those borders outlined in the WHO Carthage outbreak report. Wow, that's actually going into Canada too. Department of State, Washington D.C. Is our considered opinion that we ask the Michigan government to make a complete review of the Carthage Health Authority. We in the State Department have it on good authority that former director Dr. Richard Broussard was accepting bribes in exchange for favors from anti-government organizations, most notably the ALA, during his tenure. It is possible that there may be others in the CHA with whom he conspired. State Department. This is the new health authority. As the new director of Carthage Health Authority, it is my sad duty to inform all concerned parties of the death of the former CHA director, Dr. Richard Broussard. He was killed in the crossfire of a skirmish between Carthage Police Force and a terrorist organization known as the ALA. An innocent victim, he died performing the duties of his office. He will be mourned. Please direct any inquiries to this office. To Thomas Thrope, Director, World Health Organization. Dear sir, you are aware of the epidemic with which the town of I.P.C.A has become afflicted. We believe it is due to a parasitic infestation associated with an influx of rats, not unlike the bubonic plague. Italy's history with the Black Death has left us with deeply ingrained fear, and our communities are panicking. We seek aid to rid us of this pestilence. This is Italy. To Gabriel Logan, Commander-in-Chief, International Presidential Consulting Agency. Mr. Logan, as a result of your agency actions, 16 of the department's finest officers were saved from possible ambush because an agent of yours was already in the building and locked down the doors. Our men were prevented from going into a trap. I commend your agency and especially that agent for the strategy you used. Thank you for your involvement. They didn't know where to send this, of course, but our counterparts in the Central Intelligence Agency sent it via Homeland channels. Heck yeah. Don't have anything there. Conspiracy files. Mr. President, my people have been watching for Mara. Of course, we did not find her, but one of our satellite groups did. She was photographed at a passport inspection station at the Belarus border with Poland in the town of Brest. It is too bad, really, that our government cannot afford the sophisticated spy satellites your own agency has access to, or we might have been able to track her down more easily. Oh well. Oh well. I'm still not having any luck finding information on the Meta-Global funds. My contacts in the EU came up empty, and I've checked all the international registries. I have some friends in the computer trade, so I'll start checking on registered bank transactions. All right, well, that's it. Here we go.
Скажи людям, что груз здесь. Пусть поднимаются. Заставь их шевелиться. Быстро, 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 пошли.
Пусть он приходит и клеймит свою проклятую скотину.
Мне нужно, чтобы взрывчатка была быстро заложена. Установите все механизмы на перегрузку и убейте всех рабочих. Добранский, Иванков решил не возобновлять с вами контракт.
Что это значит? Что происходит?
Отволоки его в сторону и заставь открыть сейф. Если он будет сотрудничать, убей его.
Иванков, это собака! Ты меня слышишь, Житков? Вы все отправитесь к черту!
Когда получишь документы, убей его.
Target in sight. ETA 1 minute.
Copy that. Take us on it, Cal.
I want you to follow the mission plan. I'm dropping you at the perimeter, then circling back to check the train yards. The whole op should be K. Just a nice, friendly interview with some blue-collar Joes, just like you and me.
All right, this is going to be in Miser Belarus, the mill. This is followed by Gary Stillman. Oh, he's our point of contact. In Italy, I discovered shipments of infected beef that were supposed to have been shipped to this old steel mill in Belarus. Now, what could a rusty, broken down Soviet mill do with contaminated meat? I am to find out. The mill foreman's named Dabrowski. Find him and get some answers. Keep a low profile. This is a covert op, and I don't want to fill out any damn paperwork. When we get back, the mill workers are collateral targets, so leave them alone and keep a sharp eye. Something's rotten in Belarus. I can smell it. It ain't the spoiled beef. Let's see what we got. All the same, really. Let's try the Spectre, though. Smoke grenade, and then we'll just and then let's equip that. Alright. Actually, you know what? Let me go back to the biz. The biz is just better.
Your primary objective is finding the mill foreman Dobransky. If he's not around, search his office for documents, shipping invoices, crap like that. That shipment of biohazardous material I found in Italy was supposed to be delivered to this mill. I want to find out why.
Yeah, see, this one's got a closer range to it. And you only have a limited amount of time.
Teresa, we've got confirmation that this was the intended destination of that livestock in Pescara.
Alright, there, we got it.
Get some samples. Dr. E's gonna need them. Got something else.
Let's not have any of that. Search each building and find those machines that want that hardware shut down. Make sure you get a sample from that carcass. Got that sample Dr. E asked for. Hope she can use it.
Already got it. Yeah, come on, let's go.
Вот еще! Gabe!
Докладывай. Взрывчатка заложена?
Еще нет, товарищ командир. Сейчас мы у шахт.
Я сказал, поторопись. They're planning on blowing the stacks. Find those explosives and defuse them. Finding Dobransky is the key to finding out what's going on here. The CDP leader here's named Zidkov. We've got a field DPE order. So, if you run across him, eliminate him. And don't mess around.
Alright, so that's the elevator.
If he's running this massacre, he's gotta be the CDP's attack dog.
Alright, radio log. Holy crap, that's a whole lot.
Alima, you be a good girl and keep the frequency scanner going. You pick up any local traffic, pipe it straight in.
You got it, boss. Stone, you've got trouble. I've got an ID on those uniforms. Chechnyan Democratic Partisans. May not sound like much, but the CDP are made of ex-Spetsnaz, KGB, and old Soviet hardliners. A mixed crowd. All fanatics.
What the hell are they doing here?
No idea. Scrambling now to get a hold of Gregorov. See what SVR intel has. I'll keep you posted. Lapon out.
Teresa, I'm ordering a mission redirect. I don't know who these guys are, but they're slaughtering these mill workers, and my team ain't standing by and letting it happen.
Copy that. Mission redirect logged and forwarded to Gabe.
All right, you guys heard the lady. You get them in your sights, you whack them. We're not gonna let these murdering sons of bitches get away with this. Teresa, darling, can you find out why my team was sent into a war zone without my consent?
Sorry, Stone, but if anyone can handle it, you can. Grabbing video feed from the MDRD.
Don't want to complain, but it seems like Larry and Imani were both dropped into war zones without advance intel, and now us. What are we paying you folks for?
What can I say, Stone? The world's a dangerous place. That's why we keep you around. Lapon out.
Alima, be a sweetheart and patch us into command.
Copy, Stone. Uploading now. What you got, Stone?
Got a combatant here, dead as of 2 minutes ago. Take a look at his colors and see what you can find. No ID, but he had this folded flag in his pocket.
Got it. Get back to you soon. Stone, picking up radio chatter.
Pipe it through.
Мы не можем уничтожить всех рабочих. Больше половины из них исчезло, возможно, еще больше. Должны быть, они прячутся. Во время холодной войны под всеми этими заводами были построены бомбоубежища. Там вы их и найдете. Мы никого не нашли. Ищи, идиот. Я не могу все делать сам.
Teresa, find out from Dr. E what kind of residue in those stacks they might be trying to get rid of. The CDP seems pretty intent on leveling the entire mill.
Copy that. Stone, we've got a voice print ID on the CDP officer leading the raid on the mill. It's Vladimir Zidkov. He's got an Interpol rap sheet as long as my leg, going back to war crimes in Afghanistan.
Sounds like a rough customer. We'll take care of him. Anything else on these Chechnyan guys?
According to the SVR, they are hardline terrorists. Russian troops have been fighting an uprising in Chechnya since Perestroika, but Yuri has no idea what they might be doing in Belarus. Lapon out.
Thanks, hon.
Okay. I like Stone so much more than the other fucking chick. Let me tell ya. And look at that par that we got to make 18 minutes. But all right, so far we're on track though. So yeah. Am I? Eh. Really? Alright, there's gonna be some stuff coming up here. So we're gonna have to escort all of the civilians back to that elevator. That's gonna be fun, right? Darn it, dude, still?
Нас атакуют! Я уже потерял много людей! Проклятье! Ты их задержишь, понятно? Может, это просто местная полиция? Она не может нам противостоять. Владимир уходит.
Вы можете меня взять в убежище.
Yeah, I'll take you.
Они убивают нас! Чеченцы! Я не знаю почему. Я не знаю. Осторожно! Там солдаты! Почему они нас убивают? Мне очень плохо.
Buddy, let's go. Like there was one more guy over here that I haven't killed yet. think we're good now. Oh, there's another worker over here. Yeah, come on, let's go. Don't cough on me, though. It's disgusting. Where? Hey.
Еще! Бей его!
Это американцы, я их чувствую по запаху.
Come on, let's go.
Вы можете меня взять в убежище.
Yes, let's go. Come on. Don't cough on me, though. Gross.
Немного дальше. Не дайте меня убить. Пожалуйста. Ой, скот. Из-за них нам плохо.
That light is bright. Come on, gotta move faster.
Убіжище знаходиться в нижній шахті ліфта.
More workers. All right. Come on.
That shelter must be where they're hiding. See how many other workers you can help in there before we have to pull out.
Okay, we got all of them.
Good work. See how many more you can save.
Там еще один рабочий! Заберите его!
Good work. One more to go. You're almost out of time.
Ooh, black jacket was taken, so they do. Okay. Gonna disarm these explosives. May not make a car, but
Good work defusing those explosives. Though I admit I was kind of wondering what kind of fireworks show they would have made.
here, yeah. I wouldn't want to have been here though when they went off. That's for sure.
Там еще один! Заберите его!
This fucker out of here.
Они вошли в изгибающее здание!
They're gonna execute Dobransky. You've got to stop him if possible. We might need him alive.
Ну прямо, болван, говори же! Тебе снова побить? Кто ты? Иди на работу!
Спасибо, дружи.
Good work getting to Dobransky before they killed him. Couldn't have done it better myself. Now get whatever's in that safe. It's gotta be important. Good work. You've got Dobransky's documents. Better take him to the shelter. If you leave him there, he's gonna get killed.
Sounds like Syphon is going to take off.
Возьми людей, мы уезжаем. Но они разбросаны, нужно время, чтобы их собрать. Я не буду ждать. Каждый, кто не будет на поезде сейчас же, останется здесь. Да, товарищ командир.
I want him stopped. Get to the tracks by the north gate and blow him up. Shit costs a lot, get him out of here alive.
Они в тоннеле!
We're not gonna make par, but you know what? It was a good try.
You don't have much time. Blow up those tracks. Sitcom's on the move. Blow those tracks. It's the 4th of July in Belarus. Good job. Sitkov ain't going nowhere but to hell. All right, kids, time to wrap it up. Make your way to the LZ. I'll be there in 4 minutes, and you don't want to keep Papa waiting. Mission complete. Good work, team.
Well, 33 seconds over par. That sucks, but whatever. You know what? We did it. We got all the objectives complete, so that's awesome.
Cobra managed to not get killed.
So yeah, look at that.
Cobra's earned a new commission.
We finally got a point of origin for these cattle shipments. Dobransky had shipping invoices from a chateau just north of here, the Belarus.
That's Russian for White Tower. I'll see what I can dig up.
Heading there now. All right, kids. Let's go get us some Spetsnaz barbecue.
Alright, let's wrap up the Zeus files here. New. In 1992, Fagan founded Farcom and moved us to New York City. By this time, I knew the actual purpose of our work. We were not making vaccines, but weapons. We looked at smallpox, Ebola, anthrax, even BSE. From the start, Syphon was to be the ultimate weapon, a virus tailorable to any demographic. Kaufman convinced me what mattered was the science. We were creating biotech that worked at a cellular level. We could cure cancer. I was consumed by his vision that our work required small numbers to become infected and die was a small price to pay for our true work. Fagan would get a weapon, Kaufman a tool to change the world. Now that's interesting.
Работает? Окей, хорошо. Хорошо. Это не займет много времени, поэтому надеюсь, что вы будете слушать внимательно. Переключитесь на слайде, пожалуйста. Нет, это идиот. Это отправляется к сельским кузнецам. Они даже не поймут, что это. Хорошо. То, что вы сейчас смотрите, называется Bostaurus indicus. Обычно известно под названием корова. Это экземпляр после 1 часа воздействия. Тот же экземпляр 4 часами позже. Обратите внимание на пятнистые повреждения и ушибы. Не правда ли тревожно? Подавление иммунитету к вирусному патогенезу приводит к полному коллапсу гомеостаза. Я использовал трансгенную модель, чтобы объединить ВИЧ-экспрессор с ПСВ-ЕСФ гистохимическим клеточным промоутером с целью транскрипционного перемещения патологии за пределы иммунорегуляторного пути распространения в организме. Извините. В итоге она умирает очень быстро, ее органы съедаются изнутри. Этот вирус распространяется самыми разными путями. Передача через воду является наиболее подходящей, поскольку геномная последовательность содержит HIV и несколько родственных аденовирусов, поэтому избегайте контакта со всякими вязкими средами и жидкостями. Отсюда понятно, что вирус не является видоспецифичным, и за понимание этого мой лаборант дорого заплатил. Не закончите, как он. Все время носите маски. На вас все время должна быть защитная одежда и перчатки. Я отправляю вакцину первого этапа. Используйте ее. Не делайте ошибок. Берегите себя. Или этот вирус вас убьет. Благодарю вас за внимание. Желаю хорошего дня.
Следует сделать еще одну попытку.
Какая разница? Они крестьяне. Я закончил.
All right. And that's it. That's all we got. In our next episode, we will definitely dive into Belarus 2. In the meantime, you all stay healthy. Don't catch Syphon Filter virus. So, so initially, now I'm playing it my way. Obviously, it's gonna suck because there are some team stuff I can't do. So, there is a video on YouTube that does show some of the unlocked files and stuff, so I'll throw those in for the ones I can't do. But other than that, I have to say I like the files and stuff. Is cool to see how things are progressing outside of the missions. That is neat. That's actually a really good narrative thing. A lot of reading though, which I don't mind, but obviously it's boring for you guys. But that being said, I do find it interesting. I do like that's kind of something I kind of wish they would have had in the other game as well. But it is what it is. I do like it. That mission was more along the lines of an actual Syphon Filter virus or Syphon Filter game mission, in my opinion. So I had fun. That was fun. So, but with that being said, friends, stay true to yourselves, follow your hearts. We'll see Belarus 2. So yeah, see you then. Bye-bye.